Well, welcome back, everybody, to Cut the Slack, the Halloween edition here with Tim Coy and Billy King Kong Candelaria.
That's right.
And, of course, we have our friend Charlie. What's your last name, Charlie?
Santilena.
Santilena, Catalina.
Like Catalina, but Santilena.
Santilena. Okay, great. Well,
Santeria.
I got it. All right. That's a couple of my favorite things right there. Well, not Santeria, but the song. The song. So... Yes, this is the Halloween edition. We're coming up on Halloween 2019, and of course, we had to throw a little bit of the mask in there for fun. But we have a great guest in Charlie who actually is in the Halloween industry in costumes, right?
Correct.
So, do you kind of know the origins of Halloween? How did this get started?
I know Halloween was celebrated by the Celtics, the Romans, and the Catholic faiths, yes. And then I know that it's really heavily with the Catholic faith at this point in time.
Sure.
And it's tied into All Hallow Eve, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day.
Got it.
So that's how it's been
And
celebrated.
we've turned it into somehow a holiday where we go around and beg from strangers and get candy.
Yes.
For free. So go America. So you're in the costume business. How did you get into that? Where did it all start?
All right, so I was in college, and I originally started as an animation major in college. So I was going through school doing that, and I was like, all right, cool, this is awesome. I know how to draw. I can draw cartoons really well. And then I kept going deeper and deeper into it, into 3D animation. I got to the point I was like, all right, I have two options at this point in time. I could work for a major animation studio like a Pixar or DreamWorks, right. But I didn't feel like confident in that. I didn't feel like I had the skill set to work for a company like that. I just didn't feel like I had it. So I was like, all right, well, everything's a business. The animation studio, someone's got to run it.
Yeah.
So everything is business. So I went into, got my business degree.
Okay.
And then the first job out of college was with my sister, actually. She got me a job doing data entry for a costume company.
Just punching in numbers.
Just punching in numbers and writing orders and doing customer service.
So no art, no animation
nothing
to it.
No.
Just data entry.
Data entry grind.
Bottom ground level.
But I'd always go down to the art studio down there because they had a big art studio. And I'd watch the artists like drawing costumes and stuff like that. I'm like, I could do this.
Right.
Like,
wow.
So I'd go on my lunch breaks and I'd go down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just kind of absorb a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything from them?
Yeah, I learned a ton.
Okay.
I learned a ton.
Did anybody kind of take you in or?
Yeah, I had a friend. He kind of took me under his wing, just like, oh yeah, here's how I do this stuff, and he introduced me to Photoshop.
Nice.
And then so I've been kind of honing my skills in Photoshop for the last decade.
Oh, love it. Love it. So you still work in Photoshop?
Yeah, I still work in Photoshop. Yeah.
Okay. And then you started there. Did you kind of what happened? Did you work your way up through the?
I worked my way up into sales management there.
Okay.
In the course of about 2 years, and then that company got bought out by a company in New York. So they came in, they dismantled the entire operation and moved it to New York.
And where did that leave you?
So yeah, I was 2 years into my career there, jobless, back to bartending.
Oh man.
So then I had a customer of mine call me and say, hey, there's this old guy in Long Beach. He was kind of like a gangster, old school like gangster type, right?
Right.
He's like, he's not looking for anybody, but he can use your help. So I cold called this guy like 3 times.
Hey.
And he's like, well, listen, kid, you keep calling me. Like, you want to come up here and interview? I'm like, sure. So I go up there and interview. I interview all day, 10 till like 5:30, running spreadsheets for this guy. And like,
it was like a working
basically,
interview.
yeah, he put me to work the whole day. And then at the end of it, he's like, well, do you want the job? I'm living in San Diego, interviewing in Long Beach. I'm like, well, what's the job? Like, he's like, listen, you want the job or not? And I was like, yeah. He's like, show up Monday. I'm like, what am I going to get paid? He's like, I'll take care of you. And he did. I worked for him for 9 years.
Wow.
I mentored under him.
That is pretty much a full-on gangster
it's totally
job offer.
Yeah, it was.
You want
Show
here?
up here on Monday.
Show up here and I'll take care of you.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, it's old school like New York mentality, you know?
Okay, I got a job.
Yeah.
Mom, I got a job.
Totally.
I don't know how much.
Ended up working out.
Okay.
But
so then what were you doing for him?
So I was doing sales for him and then helping him grow his company.
Okay.
So in the course of 4 years, we grew from 2 million to 14 million.
Oh.
But he showed me how to spread, like buy fabrics, like raw materials, spread goods, cut them, sew them, bundle them, send them out to contractors. And he showed me how to manage the whole process of manufacturing.
So that was really like on the job college.
Crash course,
Right?
yeah.
But because you can learn something in college.
Sure.
But it's book knowledge. It's not necessarily working knowledge. So
Correct.
to be able to have somebody actually show you the ropes and give you that real working knowledge of, hey, I know how to do this. It's not just a concept.
Correct. And he showed me the full scale of how to do everything. So
Dude, that's like, so that was a costume business.
that was a costume company. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that was a costume company. I was there for 9 years.
Okay.
And then he ended up getting cancer and passed away.
Oh no.
And then, but one of my last conversations with him, he was like, "Hey, look, I taught you everything you need to know. If you have some problems here, like you need to go do this on your own."
Wow.
So I did.
Wow, man,
Dude, that's
that's
powerful.
cool. I love old gangsters.
So you take a big risk sometimes, you know.
That's awesome, dude.
Right.
He's like, look, I taught you everything.
Oh, they should write a movie on this
It was
guy.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, so basically, this gentleman kind of was your mentor.
Sure.
Showed you the ropes. Really, actually showed you pretty much how to run a whole business.
Correct.
And then he passed away. And then where did you go from that?
So he passed away, and then about 3 months after that, my sister was in the same industry as me.
Yeah.
She's my business partner. We co-own the business together.
Oh, cool.
So
Family.
yeah, family. So 3 months after he passed away, she was working for a guy in LA, and he passed away as well. So she's like, okay, I'm going to start this company now. We always talked about it since like back on the first company I worked for. We
Yeah.
worked together there.
You guys are kind of like Black Widow.
Yeah, we're like
It's a master plan. What's
totally.
going on here?
Everybody kept like dying around us. So
And that'll be our interview.
it's kind of Halloween-ish, though, right?
Yeah. They passed away.
So-
and we took their business.
We don't know what happened.
So
He
she
just
started the
passed away.
company. Yeah.
Okay.
She started the company like 3 months after my boss passed away. Her boss passed away. She started the company,
Okay.
and then I joined her about a year after that.
And how long ago was that?
That was 2000. So it's 2014, 2015 year,
Okay.
and then I joined her in
Very
2016.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
So it's about
that's-
3 years that we've been together.
Okay. And are you able to kind of talk about like numbers and gross sales and stuff like that?
Sure.
Okay. What's like a normal like yearly gross sales for you guys?
For this year or in the past. So when we started, my sister brought some companies, with her that we did some reorders and stuff like that. When I joined her, our sales they dipped down. We lost a couple of accounts. They dipped down to about $200,000.
Okay.
So I quit a job of like 9 years and going into this going, hey, wait, we don't have enough money to pay the both of us. Like what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, that's
So-
a test. That's a test of metal right there.
Yeah, so I hit the phones hard, and we were able to pick it up to about 500, which is still not a lot to pay two people that have families and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you
Can't
think,
take the money out.
The
Really.
whole manufacturing process. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, you've got to. The company has to be funded to run,
Correct.
but you also have to be funded
To live.
work, to live and work for the company.
correct.
So yeah, I get it, man. That's a tough gig. So is that kind of like where you're at right now?
No.
Or-
So
okay.
that was 2016, 2017. We increased a little bit, about 30% from there.
Nice.
2018, we had a 35% growth
Oh, that's a
from
good
there,
growth.
and then this year we broke 1.2 million.
Yeah, seven
Nice.
digits, baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
hit it.
Love that. Congrats,
So,
man.
Thank you.
So, are you in any kind of big box stores?
Yeah, so we got into Party City, Spirit Halloween, which is owned by Spencer Gifts.
Okay.
We're on Amazon's platform through the third-party accounts through them, and then we also do business with a catalog company called Chasing Fireflies.
Oh, okay.
They do like deluxe kids costumes.
Got it. So, talk to us a little bit about that, because Billy and I both have started businesses. A lot of people out there have started businesses, and it's kind of like when you start a business, especially when you're bootstrapping it, when you're just doing everything on your own and you don't have a lot of financing, it's like you kind of started out of your house, out of your garage.
Yeah.
You're selling to friends and family a lot. And then all of a sudden you're talking about Party City. So I think for a lot of people that are business owners, there's a big gap in between those two. So how did you navigate that gap and kind of get in touch with some of these bigger entities?
I mean, some of it was some old relationships and from networking throughout the years.
Sure.
So that kind of got us a foot in the door, at least to have a conversation. And then from there, I mean, for Party City, for example, they tested us on their website first.
Yeah.
So my first order with Party City was like $10,000.
Okay.
Like something really small,
Right.
They just wanted to see if we can deliver on time and what the quality of our goods were, and make sure that we comply with their regulations and the testing compliances for the United States.
Sure. So that's a big deal right there. I mean, they're a big name.
Yeah.
They're not going to just give you all their business and possibly damage themselves if you can't perform and
Fulfill,
fulfill
Correct.
the product and all of that, because it's a big time of year.
Sure.
Like in the DJ business that I own, Halloween is so concentrated.
Mm-hmm.
Like in December, for example, when we do holiday parties, December 1st, man, we're doing holiday parties, and any day between then and the 22nd or 23rd, we're doing holiday parties. So it's fairly spread out in the month, whereas Halloween happens all at one time.
Yeah.
And in the DJ business, all on one night, actually.
Yep.
So, which is similar to Halloween itself. It's pretty much everybody gearing up for one night, and then I guess you have that big crunch probably the week before, where everybody's just doing their last minute shopping and
Right.
stuff. So they wanted to test you out before they gave you a big chunk of their business.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. But you said something that we kind of glossed over. What's with the testing? Like, what are some of the regulations you're having to work with here?
So we have to comply with lead testing. So when you build a costume, there's buttons, there's zippers, there's certain trims you use, there's glitter,
Paint?
a lot of different things. So we have to make sure that it complies with the U.S. regulations, which is less than 100 parts per million
Okay.
of these phthalates and lead particles.
Oh, wow.
So we have to test each button, each zipper, each piece of fabric, each trim with the testing lab, where they go in there and they test it and make sure that it passes.
Yeah, because I don't think
Yeah.
people really understand, like, when you're putting this fabric on your body and you're sweating, there's, we know about, like, M&Ms with the red dye, and everybody's heard about that kind of stuff, but very similar in that, like, some of the dyes that you're using in the fabric could be toxic if you don't test it, right?
Correct.
And all of those things. And then, of course, God forbid somebody swallow a button or something and it's toxic.
Exactly.
I never even thought about that, man. That's kind
It's a very, very people overlook it all the time. They don't even think that they'd have to do something like that. When you get into the nitty gritty of, because we're wholesale manufacturers, so we're actually working with the factories that are producing these goods. So we're on the hook for if it complies or not, because we're the ones bringing them into the United States.
It's your name.
Yeah.
But you're working with all of these other companies that, are
Distribute.
that are behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and they're providing you with all these supplies.
Correct.
So, but still, nobody cares. Like, if Party City gets a bad product, they're not going to go after that person.
They're coming after me.
Yeah.
So I make sure I got all my testing regulations, all my testing reports and everything. Like I send them off to Party City, and they won't even accept the goods from me until that's completed.
Yeah, I get it.
So-
Yeah, man, I didn't even think about that. Billy, earlier we were talking about something in the political world. Can you kind of touch on that?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about imports and tariffs and stuff like that a lot of people, they really haven't felt the effects of yet. But you being in manufacturing, especially with being international, what's that affected you? Or if any?
So it didn't affect me for 2019 because we were able to bring all of our product in before any tariffs hit. Thank God.
Yeah.
But so right now I'm designing 2020 Halloween. I've been designing it for the last 3 months. So I'm quoting right now all these major retailers at this point in time. So I talked to my customs broker, and they said to plan on the 35% tariff by the time next year hits that I'm importing these goods.
Man, yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, so that's from the cost of goods, all right? So the trickle down to that is, I have a margin that I need to make. The retail shop has a margin that they need to make. So the end consumers aren't going to feel this really until I feel for another 6 months.
Wow. And that's a great point you brought up, Billy. Like, we really haven't felt the effects. Like, I've seen a lot of stuff. We've
A lot of headlines.
We've heard, Trump talk about this and that. We've heard China back and forth. But it's kind of like, what does it mean and how does it really affect us? And a lot of times you think, okay, well, this is Trump turning the screws on China, which he is, to modify their program over there a little bit to be more beneficial, or maybe to bring more manufacturers back here, possibly. But we kind of see it as something happening to someone overseas. But you're American, man. You're sitting right here running a U.S.-based business.
Correct.
And since you're dealing with people in China and all of these different countries, it's affecting you like right now.
Like right now. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a small business, like
Right.
I'm a small business trying to make it, and
Yeah.
to have a 35% increase on your goods over tax, like there's nothing behind it, just a tax that we have to pay.
Right. And you can't really just, I don't know, maybe you can, but it doesn't seem feasible to just like raise your prices, 50,
No.
100%.
We can't.
Because then that kind of prices you out of the competitive market.
Right. The customers that I sell I'm a middleman, if you will.
Right.
I offer a service to these accounts by giving them like new designs and trend on product.
Yeah.
But they would just cut me out.
Right, because there's somebody else that can, if they're
They just do it
selling,
themselves.
if they're selling the costume for $30, and all of a sudden you say our costumes are $50,
Yeah.
that's a big jump for the everyday consumer,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's a big problem for a retailer.
Absolutely.
Because now we're looking at how many people are we not going to sell to when they walk in and see that 30 went to 50.
Correct.
Oh man, dude,
So
that's
we've been having these conversations with China. We've been having them with our customers as well. We're all trying to just split the differences.
right.
And
So
just
everybody's kind of chipping in. a little?
Yeah, our factories are chipping in. We're chipping in and like trying to lower it as much as we can. Once we saw this coming in 2019, we started outsourcing to different countries. But I can't move all my business to another country like on the flip of the dime.
Right. Wow. I mean, so whoever you're working with in China, that's obviously affecting them if you do move your business away
Correct.
from them.
That's why they've been able to lower some of our prices so we could keep the business.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty significant. Man.
Yeah.
Now, tell me just briefly about how you got in touch with people in China, because I that's another big gap there too. Like people say, oh yeah, you need to work with people overseas, but
Right.
is that easy?
So I was fortunate, when sometimes you have an amazing business partner, and there's reasons why you guys are together. So when my sister was the vice president of a clothing company out of Los Angeles, and she dealt directly with the factories. So when she started Seeing Red, which is the name of our costume company, she went directly to the relationships she's already had.
Got it.
And then we do some sourcing through like Alibaba.
Yeah.
We've been
Sure.
able to do pretty well through that. But sometimes it's a needle in the haystack on that thing.
And then talk to us about the gap between that we touched on it a little bit earlier, but going from selling costumes out of your garage to talking to a big box store. I mean, it sounds like you had some relationships that you were able to leverage a little bit.
Yeah.
But probably not all of your relationships.
Not all of
right?
them.
How did you get in touch with a big company? Was it
Yeah,
just
so
like-
I sold Bye Bye Baby, which is Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah.
So how I got a hold of them, I literally went on their 1-800 site on online. I Googled them,
Yeah.
found their corporate number, talked to the receptionist. She was super nice. I told her what I was doing. I said, hey, look, I'm a new company. I got this really cool product. You got to have it. Like,
Right.
It's right up your guys' alley. They connected me with the buyer. The buyer was like, I don't know, maybe we'll test it out. And they tested it, and then I'm in that. I'm only online with them, but
Online.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
but
yeah,
still,
that's so cool.
it's hard to
me.
cold call like that. But
Right. And you
You
don't
gotta do
always
it.
get through the receptionist.
No.
Sometimes they're the gatekeeper.
yeah,
But
I'm trying Target and Walmart right now, so I'll let you know at the end of this year how this goes.
Hell yeah, man.
That's awesome, dude. So you're just literally cold calling them.
Yeah,
And who do I talk to?
right. I do a combination of both. I have leads that I've had through the industry through the last 14 years I've been in it.
Yeah.
And then I have I just have to pick up the phone and cold call people.
Right. So what happens if these tariffs do go into place? Do you guys just shut your doors or
No,
negative?
no
Figure
way.
it out.
You figure it out, right?
I love
Hey,
it.
if I was gonna give up, I would have gave up a little while ago, but
Right.
it ain't happening.
Right. That's really cool. So you feel this is definitely something that you can stick with long term.
Yeah,
I love
I'm trying to find different ways to have more year-round business because Halloween is so seasonal.
that. Right.
But so I'm working on a lingerie division of that, and
Okay.
then just trying to keep shipping. Like every month I don't ship, I feel is a month that I'm losing opportunity.
Right.
So I'd like to turn out some more year-round business, and then make Halloween just like the big chunk of our business.
I love that. Do you have any kind of a retail outlet, or is it
We're,
all?
so we're just starting the retail.
Okay.
Just starting it right now. So I'm building a website right now. I'm planning on launching it in the next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So how can people get a hold of you if they want to get in touch with you on some of your merchandise?
Sure.
Are they able to order costumes and lingerie? Or?
Lingerie is not launched yet, so
Okay.
we're gonna start off with the costumes for right now.
Got it.
And then lingerie will probably launch at the beginning of the next year.
Got it. So tell us, where can
So
we find you?
yeah, the website's onlyseeingred.com.
Okay.
And that's where you can find us. And we're also on Instagram. Those are probably the two best spots to find us.
And what's your Instagram handle?
It's Seeing Red Inc.
Seeing Red Inc. At Instagram, and then onlyseeingred.com.
Yep.
Cool, man. Well, dude, thank you for coming
thank
by
you
and
guys.
sharing with us.
I
man.
appreciate it.
Good stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.